That's like the first thing. So, hello to everyone who's watching. I did a vote, and Remnote was the clear winner. So, I have Remnote open. I haven't used Remnote at all. I'm just gonna click around, push some buttons, and see what happens. And let's start with seeing what the only thing that I did right here at the moment is I logged in using my Google account and I let it load. And for the rest, I'm going into it blank, just like last time with Mem AI. So let's see what it shows. I like that the everything's been saved pops up, even though it sticks around for very long. And I get a feeling like it was constantly popping up, but maybe that's because I wasn't doing anything with it. There's no practice. There's guided tutorials to see how to make RAM. We'll look at tutorials. Can I skip the tutorials? Probably. Oh yeah, there's an interactive tour button here that I can open at any time. So that's nice. And then documents. That's usually where it starts, right? The document setup. Double check everything running fine. So you got pinned stuff here, draft stuff finished. So it's very much a document-based system, it seems. Including the top level RAM, I see a new document and I see a today's document. Now, I always like a today's document because I've already observed with a lot of these systems like Logseek and Obsidian and Rome that just having this one place where you can always type something is awesome. Let's click on that and see. That says daily document, that says today's date. What kind of options do I get? Let's get some practice stuff. I think that has to do with, because I know that the Remnote has like this repetition set built in. So let's see if I can work with that later. Customize, that's like the spaced repetition thing. Suspend, I can tag things. Smooth delete, view stats. That sounds interesting. Graphs, always a big win. And basic stuff like printing, filtering, and finding things. So now let's get started by typing in a small note. Hello to everyone watching now and in the future. And then the first thing that I have is like, it's probably an outliner. So with tab, indent, and shift tab, I can go back. Okay, that's like the most default thing there is. And then slash gives me a set of commands, which is similar to a lot of other programs. RAM reference, image, audio, latex, quotes, code, dates, emojis. Let's see, emojis gives me like a, let's see, sunglass. Oh yeah, I like that. And it seems to be working with percentages, double percentages. Oh, okay. That's different than usually where most systems work with the columns to get into emojis, but I'm glad it's there because I really like that I can quickly add small symbols towards my typing. So I like the emoji setup, even though the hotkey is different. And then of course I want to start labeling things. So this is emoji. Can I just select this? No, I'm doing it wrong. So it's not enter, but it is showing me something here. And this is basically like a lookup for emoji, I think. I couldn't do it by keyboard, which was too bad. Let's see if the bracket system works. Oh, yeah, just one bracket is like already something. And tags work? No, they don't. But let's see what this does then. Like, this is basically the same thing. So you send the emoji text. I have no idea what I'm doing, but that was like the main goal. So it does something with this, and I'm wondering, can I close this? Because so RAM, that's probably something has to do with the RAM setup. So let's see, what other things do I see? So I'm in a daily document. You got the documents here. Let's assume that there is now a, this is the daily, this is that smiley that I just made. That's like a document. I'm a bit confused now. Daily document, stuff like that. Includes the top emoji text. And that's probably what I just did. So let's go to today. Let's see, daily document, that's in the drafts. I'm gonna have to look in the, there's colors and buttons on the bottom, which I like. Multi-card line item, documents, bullets. Add a portal to an existing RAM. So there's a lot of things here that I don't have like any lexicon about. Portals, RAMs. I'm gonna have to read a little bit of help to get started and get the most out of this hour of messing around with Remnote. Search box imports RAM from anywhere in your knowledge base. In this document, an imported RAM will end up in both documents. Any edit in one document is made in the other, and only a single set of cards is generated. So that would mean that this thing here, which says emoy with emoy text in it, that's probably one of those doubles. So if I add text to it, does that? Yeah, this is like a bit weird. Do I have to shift? Hello? Oh, that's just the text. What if I go to documents? Do I get like the emoji document there then? I don't. Well, let's do a quick tour. Let's see if we get some of the basics in. Comfortable with the editor. Create a document, clicking plus on the sidebar. Oh, nice. It comes with fireworks. So if you do like a follow the interactive tour and I make something, and then it actually becomes like a document. So it says like document title here. So let's say everything about emoji. I don't even know how to write that. Terrible. Okay, well, doesn't matter. Like the spelling is not what we're here for. Okay, so that's one thing. And then there's a plus on the sidebar, and oh, you can click it here as well. And there's a quick add, and I love quick add. So that's control semicolon. And I like, oh, then quick note that I want to remember. Now I'm gonna see if I can close this pop-up so people can read, and then I can say edit later or save. Now I'm assuming that the edit later one just moves it away. Oh yeah, and then there's like a thought queue, so I can probably do that again. Let's see. Adding another thought, and if I click save, this doesn't work. Like I need to go to like another document so to see what happens, because I want to see if like if I click save, then it gets somewhere. When I click save, does it open in editor? Well, let's see, there's a save button here, it says Ctrl Shift Enter, so let's try that. Okay, so now I don't get the difference between the save option and the edit later option. Maybe it doesn't get added to the queue. You can pick a parent. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but okay, I did this. Okay, I have to do new document. Fine, I'll do a new document. Yay. And then it's happy. Then I get to the next. Create a flashcard. Well, it seems that flashcards are what Remnote is all about. So let's have a quick look at that. Type a question, 2 columns, and an answer. So that's definitely built in. So, quick flashcard example. Should you do everything you capture in your inbox system? Make it a question, say, and then it's like, no, the idea is to remember, you decide if you will do it when processing inbox. That seems roughly the idea. Oh, but I had to add 2 columns, so doing that means that it changes around, and then I have a queue, and that's like the card system. Oh, this I like. Yeah, so like I see this now. Should I do everything you capture in your inbox system? No, I know you shouldn't, but I can click there. And do I then fill in the blank it says, but I'll show answer. Okay, so you can just click on that and go like, oh, that was good. And then I can pick again, unable to recall, so press M, good, recalled with minimal effort. Easy, recall immediately. Well, there's like a lot of options to like review it. It's like okay. Well, that explains something for me from the perspective that Remnote is working, right? And I already knew that because I heard from people that it's about recollecting whatever you're doing. So in this case, it's very much focused on flashcards. So anything you write down and trying to get it into your head, which is awesome and terrible at the same time, because I'm one of those people that tries to get everything into my second brain instead of like in my head. But I can definitely see something like this when you're studying or trying to remember things over a longer time. And I like that you get like a lot of options. It's definitely designed from a usability standpoint, like from somebody who's actually been using it. Meaning that when somebody has been using this and going like, oh, I accidentally clicked the button, and then they added something to make sure that it allows you to go like, oh, we'll do it again in an hour because I clicked the button too fast. And that's nice. It's the same thing, so I click show answer. And then you can disable them, you can edit it, or I can just say this was good. And then it comes back at me next day. Oh, I'm saying it's done. How do I, this is like a bigger queue. This is a bit confusing. Like, how do I close this? Just press escape. Keep learning, make it smaller, go back. I think it's just, okay. So the idea here is that if you go to your queue, you get like this pop-up, but because the interactive tour is behind it, it doesn't feel like I'm used to pop-ups closing. So from that's like a thing that's I'm missing here. I'm missing like the corner button that allows me to close this pop-up window. But it's fine. That's just something that you get used to the first time. And then this is the thought queue. Oh, okay, that's the difference. So like if I say save it, it just goes straight in and it's added later. Then you get like this automatic inbox with thoughts where you can add something and say like move and done. Oh yeah, you can move it towards a document because you know that it's from Sunset, or you say done because you don't care about it anymore. That I like. Let's see what else we get from the interactive 2. Which I did. Can I just go back then and say like, okay, I want to do something else? Yeah, I can. So flashcards we did. Notes on a PDF. That's like a pro feature. It says that it can. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Making notes on PDFs is always nice, though I prefer being able to write on it. Create flashcards. Create fill in the blank. Close flashcard. Link your ideas. Right, I'm not listening to anyone. Why am I wearing my headphones? Well, because I was testing before we started, but good. So we have this going, and then my main question becomes like, okay, what do I store in this? Okay, I need to add a lot of data before I can have statistics, which seems to be obvious. Also, we just show one. Multiple panes to put stuff next to each other. And then actually the thing that I mostly want to learn is how to link ideas, because I really like it when notes allow me to slide between stuff. That's the thing that's hard to do on paper, right? Like in paper setups, you can't just link things together. Well, you can. I tried by using page numbers, but it's just not as fluent as that when a computer just looks it up for you. Okay, so they really hammer down on the spaced repetition here, which is fine. And then blue links to spaced repetition, imported text are rem references. So I got this one. Open rem as documents, and I'm assuming, yeah, then I get back to like spaced repetition. I can hide the setup. Let's close this one. I like the multi-pane. The question I have is like, oh yeah, you can only have 2 panes, which is nice. Yeah, usually I just have 2 things next to each other. So just having 2 panes is good enough. It's fine. It will work. And I'm wondering if that will work here as well. Let's say that I got the thought queue here, and let's see if I wanna open that in like a separate tab. That works. And if I add something, and then the main question that I have with this is like, if I use multiple windows, which I really like, does it auto sync? And it does. Like, so 2 people editing in the same file, that's a huge win there. And then the linking bit is what I'm mostly curious about. Oh, there is a lot of things to go through here. Because you have your documents here, but there's not a main structure. I already got like 9 documents just messing about here. That went quick. Let's say this, like overall thoughts on Remnote. And then I take this. It says no equivalent text exists. And then I make like this. Ah, okay. So this makes like a Remnote subpage. And then I can open that as a document and say like, and then immediately what I notice here is the reference here, which is a different document that I can open. And this is very much like what logseek does as well, where anything that's referenced you can find back. So that would mean that if I would take this one and keep this open for clarity, go to today, and would say like, today I'm playing around with Remnote. And it doesn't, because by design. And then if I do this, would that work? No. Does it work with double? That seems to work. So I say Remnote, and then it nicely links it. It seems to work fine. And then let's add a outline to it. And the reason why I'm adding an outline here is because one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of programs just tell you the block line that you're at. And by adding an outline, I can see like, okay, can I see the details, or do I need to like dive into it and start clicking around? And that's really hard for recollection. So now if I go to the Remnote page, I'm going to close the tutorial because we're not using it, and I want to give maximum screen. I'm saying open as document, right? And then you see like overall thoughts. This is just one of the things that I made. And every stripe here is then like a different document. So I see this one here, playing around with Remnote, seems to work fine. And it's closed, but I can open it, I think. So let's see, yeah, adding an outline to it. So that I like I can quickly go like through the history of notes that I made where I referenced this topic, and then scroll back and find the relevant information, and then make those collected thoughts over time, well, summarize them here. One of the things that I do with logseek now is that they have like a floating set. I'm not sure if that's the case here. Let's have a look. No. So like a lot of I think Obsidian has a plugin for it, and logseek does it now as well. Is that when you float over the word, it pops up and there's like a small box where the text that you written down about it is in. And that's something that I use a lot, I've noticed, because at my current position in the city of Amsterdam, we have a lot of short verbs for projects, and I always lose track of like what's this verb for and what's that verb for. And by making a note and adding the long text in it, when I get something like that during a meeting or session, I would just type in the name, link to it, hold the mouse over it, and then it would pop up with just the short reminder about what it is. And that really has made me more efficient. It's not terrible. I can say open another pane, which is good. This is like the 2 pane setup where I put it on the side. One of the things that I'm wondering though is like if I open up another, yeah, then it replaces it. So you can't make like a whole list on the side of things that you want to reference at the same time. But you can work around that by just opening multiple browser windows and chucking them side to side. So that's not something that I would worry about too much. An alias, which is good because that gives you like a different name you can give. Now you might be wondering, why would I want to add something like an alias and why is that important? That's because a lot of things go by different names. I've had projects that like were called different depending on the person I'm chatting with, and by having an alias they both point to the same document, meaning that if I'm in a meeting and the person talks about project A and the other person talks about project A2 and A2 and A are the same, then I don't have to think about it. I just link to one of the two and they are both get merged by the program I'm using. So having aliases here is super nice. Then we get to like graph views. Graph views are wonderful. They mostly tell you how things are connected, and in the beginning when you start with these things you look at this and go like, yeah, do I really need that? Yes you do. You see, once you start collecting things you need to clean up. It's a bit like looking into like a room and finding out what things you still want to clean up. So I see like this little thing here that's even linked, so that's good. But sometimes when you find things that aren't linked or that aren't linked to a lot of things, using the graph view allows you to find where you need to like tidy your garden. Oh, there's a lot of options here. Remove organs, remove leaves, tidy graph. I don't want stuff tidy. Oh yeah. And you can see more things. These are like, there's like a lot of things to work. Oh, you can make it terribly. Oh my, this is. Alright, this definitely gets points. Like if you love your graph view, then the options that I'm getting in Remnote here are just amazing. This is really helping because you can say how deep you want to go, so how many layers do you want to go and find stuff. There's easy filtering on documents, but also things that are concepts that you haven't finished yet. This is well thought out. I like this. It's like a good system that's been set up to work like it. Linking around is working fine. Let's see formatting, which is always a nice one. So when I'm talking formatting, that's like, okay, can I put a document in it? And the first thing I'm always going to try is try Markdown. Now, this works based on tags, which is fine. Yeah. So what I see here is that the tags get added to the end. And I even get like a little sliver here of extra information. But that's not giving me the heading that I was looking for. So let's see if I can do something like that. Oh yeah, this uses like the same shortcuts that Word's using. So I got a level 1 heading. And then I should have a level 2 heading. Level 3 heading. And then I can do Ctrl-Alt-3. Yep. So that shit's good. Pictures. Let's see what I can make do there. I always search for cat's pictures. We know that by now. So let's pick a nice cat. Here's a cutie. Copy the image. Now I really like it when I can paste images into an application, and that seems to be working fine. Image occlusion cards, I think that's to learn or show or hide information, which is good. And I can resize the image, which is also important because you don't always have the space. That's nice. Are there tables? No tables. There are indents, code blocks. So my JavaScript is a bit rusty, but can I, oh, bash I can do. So let's say bin bash and then say for I in A, B, C, do. That's nice. I always like code blocks because once I'm writing some code, I can jot down small ideas or reference them later, and I don't have to spend a lot of time figuring out how to read whatever I've written a long while ago. Audio, video, YouTube, and it takes the full URL. Oh yeah, and you can also pick only audio, which I like, because that would mean that if I look up a YouTube video that is a lot of text, it should give me just the text. So let me open a browser and see if I can get something. Not that one. I'm gonna take this Zelda Breath of the Wild thing that I'm looking at right now. That one, and I say only audio, insert. I'm not really sure what it did with it now, because now there's like a really small file there. Is it making noise? I hope. I don't hear anything. So I'm not sure what we're trying, what it does now, because it's like, it's a nice idea to say only audio, but if you can't click on it, it becomes a bit pointless. If anybody is following along and wants me to try something, then definitely let me know. The headings we've had, documents we had. Oh yeah, there were to-dos. So let's see how they handle to-dos. It's a bit confused. Maybe that's the reason why the audio isn't working. Let's refresh it. I don't like the audio bit. I'm just gonna move that one away. So yes, it allows you to include just audio, but it isn't working the way I would expect it to. It probably works better for stuff like podcasts. Tasks. That was what I was looking at. Okay, you can't just make brackets. Hello, one, choose. Okay, I added a couple of tasks, and the reason why I'm adding tasks now is because, like, what does it do task manager wise? Like, how do I find, these open tasks? So it marks them as to do. So that means that there's a page, and then it says unfinished. Oh yeah, I can see the fault happening here. It's a very nice reusing of the system they already got in place. So if you do a to-do, it gets tagged, and then you can search for the to-do tag and find it. But my first reaction looking at this is that it isn't easy or readable. But that's fine. Like, I definitely wouldn't use it as a task manager as is, but it might be able to be used if I would have known more about the system. Nothing that really pulls me away from my Todoist. Let's see if there's other things that I can get done. I had the ID linking done. I had tags done. Are there any other advanced skills? Learned skills. That's editors. Next skills, flashcard. Oh, we've already been linking ideas. This is good. So I've seen a lot of the basics. I'm taking a moment to sit back and go like, what is this and what isn't it? And my first thought is that I don't feel this is like a place where I would want to keep all my notes. And I think it has something to do with how it's structured and set up. It's definitely more geared towards typing it in here, then learning it until it's in your head, and then forgetting it. So it's not a system that feels built around just keeping it in. It feels very similar to Logseek in that regards, and that one does a similar thing. I just type in all the notes in there and I keep it around. But the thing that I seem to be missing here that Logseek does allow me is to query for stuff and then format it to show it in a certain way. Except that with Logseek that's pretty difficult. I mean, I'm currently researching to make a video on that. I really like the repetition. This is one of the things that they are known for, so I like learning stuff. If you need to make a lot of notes and you want to like get stuff into your head, part of those notes, then this feels wonderful. And there's like this whole thought, which I love quick adds. So like this, oh, that's the wrong one. This I like somebody asks me something and I can just get it out of my head straight away so I can focus back on whatever I was doing. That's a huge win. So if capture into a system is something you struggle with or something that you want on like a finger touch, then definitely Remnote gets points there. Let's look on the side. There's like the interactive tour, which seems to be clear. I see help and tutorials. I see a lot of keyboard shortcuts. Let's have a in-depth on that one. And if I look at the keyboard shortcuts, what am I seeing here? Documents table, quick adds, keyboard shortcuts to show the keyboard shortcuts, always a win. Oh, this is smart. So, this is brilliant. I like this. So what they're doing here is they added a plus behind the keyboard shortcuts so you can use the memorization function, so learning stuff, to use the program to learn your own shortcuts, which is brilliant. So I do this and it turns it into a question, and I like that the questions are quick, and then I can go to Q and I go like, hey, should you do everything you capture in the inbox system? And it's like, that's good. And I get to quick add. Now I know the quick add, that was control and the tilt. So show answer, it is. And then I can say like, that was easy. I already did 10 cards. That was nice. Yeah, so like I think that's smart. Like having a option to really quickly move a question to your today's notes and then allow you to practice that is a really smart usage of the system. Editor, navigator, and there's a lot of keyboard shortcuts. This really makes my engineer brain go like, oh, that I love. I can search for it, and it feels that like nearly everything I could possibly come up with has a shortcut. Highlight colors, super nice. Like I need to figure that one out in Notion. I'm currently writing some scripts where I use highlight colors to highlight what it's B-roll and stuff that I want to figure out, and having buttons for that would probably speed up the process. And here it just shows it up and says like, these are your options. Definitely point for keyboard shortcuts. Remnote, clear winner on that one. Why do I see a gear here? What does the gear bring me? So I push a gear. Oh my god, you can even change the shortcuts. Okay, whoever wrote this is definitely a shortcut fanatic. Matt, props to you. So you can even adjust the keyboard shortcuts to fit your system. That is some points right there. Let's have a quick look at the help. And it uses the same setup. Desktop apps, Linux included, which is great. Android apps. This is definitely very well done. You can see, like, okay, it's early access, but still, it's there. Then there's a clipper and plugins. Now, when I have a quick look at both of those, there's a video on clipper. I'm not gonna play that. I'm already making a video, but yeah, that allows me to find stuff on the internet, quickly add it to Remnote. That gets mad points. Then there's plugins. You can do an image search, word counters, which is always good. Clouds, Quizlets, and then full custom. So they already made like a whole extension system that's built into it. I mean, Notion, take note here, because I'm really looking forward to like Notion adding some kind of extension system, and this one just comes with it out of the box already. Oh, nice, yeah. Window panes, so you can have multiple windows, which is something I like. breadcrumbs, finding your way. There's a Pomodoro timer in it. We are getting to a point where I'm looking at this and going like, okay, you've been adding everything but the kitchen sink. And that means that if you keep up that, you like keep adding features, then it becomes a lot harder to learn. And that's a trick that I think Notion does very well, where they keep like the features low so that it's easy to learn. This is like the other end. It feels like, okay, we'll just add anything. So if you're not afraid to find and fiddle around, that would help. But I think it's a bit much, or it could be hidden a bit better. I would like have like an advanced tab here and then just hide all those things under there so it doesn't bother people until they are looking for a solution to their problem, instead of this self-discovery as I'm doing right now. Yeah, so I like the app bit. We had a look at that. And then of course there's always the question is like, how much are you paying for a pro version and what do I get for it? Oh, quick look. Linking and writing, settle custom, notes, flashcards, knowledge management, €0 a month. Nice, that's good for starting. What do I get with the $6 a month, which is pretty normal in this phase? Early access to new features. So that kind of enforces what I just said. Like I looked at the new features bit and said like, oh, there's a lot of features there. And that's their way of like getting people to buy for the pro. Priority support. These are things that don't really feel like, yeah, I'm going to pay $6 for it. Yeah, I think that's a bit about their target audience. Like if you're studying, then working together is one of those things that happens, but it's less there because you're trying to get through school and you might share a few notes, but there's not much that you need to share. And a lot of these programs, what they usually do is they start asking money once you start going to teams, because what happens is that you get like a free version that you use in your personal life and get your own thoughts organized. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Remnote, from what I can see here, is much further along than Logseek on quality wise. I'm not gonna argue on that one. I see more notes. The only thing that I'm wondering now if Remnote is open source, which is one of the things why I really like Logseek. But I also spend way too much time going through my Git and recovering things because I'm messing with where I'm storing my notes. It looks super sweet for sure, but like the whole pro thing is usually that gets the team. So like to get back to my earlier thought process, usually what these things do is that once you get into company settings where you work with teams of 5 or 6, that's when they start asking money, because that's where the money is at. Yeah, you can, but then you have to like type in the date behind a block and then go there and edit. It's very convoluted compared to other systems. Let's have a look and see what Remnote does there. So I want to make like a future document. Is that just like a date thing? Let's try this. Like, no, I did something wrong. Let me try that again. Insert dates. And then I'm saying like, okay, like the 18th. Why is it then still saying the 11th? Am I doing something wrong? Open other pane. Maybe I need to use a different. Oh, nice. Let's see if that one works then. So I do that and I go to like the 17th and then it works fine. Thanks for the help. That helps me along. And then can I open it? This is older. This is the one I want to open. Can't be that hard. Oh yeah, shift click. That's like a similar setup. Yeah, then I get like June 17. Quick reminder. Now, in what I do in Logseek very often is I do type in something and then /date and add the date behind it. But that means that I see the reference down here. And I've already noticed that I miss it there. So I really like it when I can add stuff to the journal. And I like what you're saying here, like the couple of exclamation marks definitely helps along to make notes in the future. And that kind of ties back into my workflow. though most of the things that I want to memorize, I either put in a calendar or in Todoist because I know for 100% sure that I won't forget them. But having something that pops up where I can easily access on the date itself, I think I would most of the time just double up. So I would create a task so that I don't forget, even if I wouldn't even check that day because the task doesn't go away, and make a link so that in my notes I could easily access it. There's a lot of options and a lot of things that I could dive deeper in. Also, one of the things that I want is like, I had like a top document, I did some formatting. See if it already gives me some statistics. Yeah, you really need to like add a lot. And then there's the rem and cards, and there's like a difference in there as well. So I'm assuming these ones are rems, like full documents, and cards are parts that you build into a document. So let's see, because questions are cards, maybe. Because then I go to the queue and then this one added. So I think those are cards, but I could be wrong. So let me see how well I can find something when I go into the help. Backward card, forward card. The help is in itself. I like that. That's always good. Space repetition cards. That's what I was looking at. And then this one says features cards, and I can shift click it. I'm not really sure like how to open it. Like shift click it, click it, features. Let's see, features, and then this is like the whole set. And this is what I have in cards. So there is some help, and it's mostly linking together. But this feels a bit like I have to figure it out myself, which is okay. I mean, I'm happy, and I'm definitely sure that if you like using Remnote on a regular basis, you go like, oh yeah, I'm used to this. I can't edit this, I assume. Does this, yeah, it says stop. So it's something that they're gonna fix. Then I assume here that cards are the flash note cards that they're having. This is like a weird usability standpoint thing, but I get it because I'm assuming that like, yeah, when you put this away, oh yeah, that's definitely, this is like nice, you get like a confirmation that this is what you need to be looking at. So like when I hide the menu, it really goes like, okay, focus on learning this card. And I always love focus mode, that definitely gets points for me. An update. Is there an update while March 23? So that's been a while back. Clicking around a bit. I can put a lot of notes in this. And I think like my head is going about it the wrong way because the side menu kind of makes my head think like Notion, and I made the same mistake with Notion. We're like, oh, I need to make like a tree structure there. No, you don't. You know, you just make the notes and you find it and you link stuff. That's like a different way of working, and that's fine because it's like. But you know, I do notice then that like there's these old things in your head, and then if I want like a main document, so let's say I make a document and I call it main, and then you can pin that. Probably because that's what the pins are for. And I also saw that there were folders, so you can even, oh yeah, so say tools on tech videos, and then I get it on the drafts, and I can say add document video 1. Okay, so you can make like a whole structure in it, which I like, and then I just add documents in there, and then simply drag it towards pinned to have it like permanent. I'm also going like, I made this main thing, can I say like I'm done with it? Oh yeah, status of draft, and I'm going like, ah, okay, I like that setup. So what it does here is that there's basically 3 setups. You have the draft, like I'm building something new and I'm creating it, and that's something that I would see myself using for stuff like meeting notes where you're like typing and it's not done yet. And then there's two other status, and finished is the equivalent of archived, I think. So then it moves down as to like, I don't need to look at it, but I want to have it for reference. And you have pinned, and that means that instead of moving down, it moves up. And that means that you always have access to it, which I like. So like I go to finished. I'm wondering like if I look at this, like if this all stays in the screen, wouldn't this get like really long? It's like, this would be scrolling for days at some point. As long as you can fold it, it's probably not a big problem. Like you just close the finished one. And then having the pinned above the draft, I'm not sure. Like, can I just move the draft up? Let's just say that it works around me. No, it doesn't. No, but that, like, for me, it's like, okay, then the pinned, you really need to keep that clean. Because for me, draft is usually where it starts, and I want to keep that clean. I would see that as an inbox. So I would prefer to have draft on top, then pinned, and then the finished setup, so the archive. But that's a personal preference, and I think both work. I mean, you should keep both pinned and drafts very minimal in a system like this, because anything that is in one of these two boxes is basically an open loop in your head. So having a lot of those means a lot of open loops, and that means that you're basically burning your energy, constantly checking back on the things that you have. I think I've seen enough right now, but I definitely get into like a better layer into it. Oh, you can change it. I tried dragging it, but that didn't work out for me, but I'm pretty sure there's an option somewhere where I can change it and have it in the way that I would like it. Let's check that huge settings setup. Status checkboxes. Oh, this I like, yeah. The draft and finish. So then it just becomes like a thing that you can click. And I can just drag it up. So like, yeah, I can't complain there. This is good. There's like a default sidebar. Oh yeah, you can also make queues and portals. So I'm assuming you can make, yeah, you can make more setups. So let's say almost done. Would that work? Let's see that I've got this one going up. Yeah, it's definitely on the advanced side, but I love that you can customize it. So that's one of those things where set parent view. Tag, portal. Oh yeah, this is called portals, and you can just add them. So let's say almost. And then the portals are, I like that setup. So like the portals feels a bit like in the system that I made for the technical superhero system, where I said that you have like areas. So it feels like you could use it for that. Let's see. Okay, so it's there. I'm done. Do I need to save it? I don't think so. But draft, pinned, tools, finished. Not sure why it's. That shows it as a document here, and it needs to be different, I think. Pinned. Yeah. No, you didn't miss much. I was mostly clicking around in the video and just trying to mess and figure out how it works. And Aria is basically teaching me Remnote by chat. It feels like has to be a tag. So that means this almost done. Then maybe I need to do it from the beginning. Ah, yes. It's a portal of a tag. So I'm saying like add portal below. Yeah, I'll dive into another topic there. It could be partially because I'm of course in the advanced bit, but I'm also going like, hey, that could be a little bit more help. I don't think everybody will be live streaming their first experience with Remnote and getting support from people in chat. But I like the fact that you can, and it's usually what I would do in these cases is just Google the answer and work from there. Let's see if I can get that working because it's fun. So let's see, customize sidebar sections, what you said there. I said like, okay, I'm gonna call it almost finished. That's a tag, but that's not what we were meaning here. So then it's this one. Let's see if that's the... And it's using this set up for it. Give me a second while I'm trying to figure this out, because it can't be that hard. And I feel a bit out of my depth, or trying to figure out what the whole add a portal to an existing RAM. Probably this is what they're meaning. Let's see, so we got the finished bit here. That's, it calls it a stop. It's not it either. And I can make a tag with the double, that bit is then. Maybe because I haven't. No, that makes it like a tag. But you need to search for a tag. So, okay, I'm gonna give up on trying to get this to work for now, but I'm definitely gonna try and figure it out later and just get some Google with it. I like the fact that you can. So that's like the mixed bag that I feel here. If I'm going to be honest and have to compare here, I'm gonna say that Remnote definitely is in the right direction, and it shows me the same things that I really like about Logseek, and it's definitely something that is more mature. But I'm also a very stiffler on like owning my own data. But I would have to dive into that one because Remnote itself isn't open source, I think. Let's double check. Yeah, you get like alternatives, which isn't. But then the other thing that I would have is like, can I own my data? So then it is, can I export it in any way or form? And there it is. Lots of export options, which is always a win for me. Top level, documents, all descendants. I want everything, and I want it in Markdown and a nearly instant zip file in neat Markdown files. So that's good. Like, while I love my open source, I think that the most important bit is always, can you access your own data? And you can. You can just export it. Maybe even automate it. That would be even better. Like I know my lazy brain, and that's like, you get like a daily backup, knowledge base settings, probably plugins for it, but you can access it. So that's good. Like having an export function gets you there. And there's an interactive tour. It's well thought out. It's working smooth. I haven't tried the app or on my phone yet, but I could see if it handles dealing with a mobile interface. Let's see, not full screen shoots. Let's say that we're on a Pixel L2. And let's give it a reload, I think. Oh yeah, that looks nice. So like, this is like the mobile interface idea. If you would open it on a browser, I would assume that anybody with an Android will probably open it as the app, but it's nice to have a click go on it. And let's see, can I? One of the things that I would definitely like in this case is to be easy to go through the cards. So my use case there would be if I have something to learn while I'm using it, then I would use this on my mobile phone, so that when I'm standing waiting for the bus for 5 minutes, I can go through the things that I want to memorize, even though I would probably not be doing that and just watching a YouTube video, because I know myself. But I could if I wanted to, and that of course is a goal. Sitting down and focusing with this, like with the black background, definitely high points. I don't think it's easy to use. I mean, definitely think that these programs, like what Notion is doing, where they're like very limited, is something that I think is going maybe overboard on the other side. But it shows like how difficult it is to avoid feature creep. So my main thing here is, and I like the fact that they have plugins for it, is that you want to limit feature creep. So you want to have like less buttons in there, so it's less cluttered, and people that are new to it, like me, don't fiddle around long, but just get going. Okay, that would be like an excellent thing for me. Like if the pro version says like we do auto backup, so we send it to your Google Drive or we connect it to Zapier or whatever it is that they're doing, that would be awesome. I mean, I have my Google accounts fully backed every month by an external party because I don't want to think about it, but I do like it that when a service would suddenly be unavailable, I would still be able to access my data, at least from like a bit recent. Yeah, my main beef is like I see a lot of features, but I don't think any other programs that I know get that bit down. But I like how it works. I'm wondering how well it would do if it would have to deal with a lot of data. Can it import stuff? Can we basically feed it a lot? Let's see, export backup imports. Dynalists, it can import workflowy. I don't have a file from workflowy lying around. Also would be nice and busy. Let's give it something to chew on. So let's see. There's a lot of files in here. Exports, documents. I got logseek somewhere. And then I would need to get like a zipped file, I think, of all my logseek stuff. Get me a terminal. I'm gonna make a quick. I just wanna import some of the notes that I have, and I have a setup here so that I have a large set of data in it. I just wanna see how it handles that. Just give me a second while I make a zip file for that. This one. Yeah. Personal zip. Making a quick zip file. Just so everybody can see, like I'm doing. I really like my terminals, but that's my engineer brain. I would recommend actually that people learn terminals at some point because it's just so much quicker to talk with computers. But let's see, personal zip, personal does minus R. No, get me everything. Okay, that's gonna be a lot. And then let's go back and see what happens if I try and import stuff. See, markdown, choose file, go to those documents, and just see if it can handle. See, adding some 702 documents into it. I'm fine with that. I know that the terminal in Linux is easier, but like I got a full Ubuntu Bash terminal in Windows, so I'm pretty okay. I do have Ubuntu on my laptop, of course, but on my Windows system, I really like my video editors for making YouTube videos. Let's see, now we should have like a lot of things to go through. Let's see what happens. Is there like a button I need to click? No, I think it just finished doing this. So let's see, it's back. Queue, documents. Oh nice, it spotted my daily journal stuff in there, which is good. And it should, like, let's see, personal pages. Oh yeah, that's like where it's hit everything, which is fine. Let's make a new document. Oh, let's see if I can get some stats now, because I got a lot of markdown files now. It should give me some statistics. I still don't have enough. Well, I'm pretty sure that it's just something that gets processed then, because there should be enough in it, but like it's managing. Let's see, I wanted to create a new document, and what if I try to find, oh yeah, now it has something to chew on. Open another page, and then I get like a whole bunch of references, and that works pretty well. Local databases, that I really like. And one of the main things I like, as soon as there's a local database, that tells me something about how it was designed. And that means that even if their main server goes down, and we have seen that before, you can still access it on your phone. Not everybody is living in the Netherlands where you have like 5G everywhere. And I can remember a couple of holidays, and there's a reason why I would never keep my holiday notes and stuff like that in something like Notion. I would always download it in PDFs on my phone and on a second phone, because things could fail. So having local databases is super nice. Okay, that was as much messing around. I did an import, I messed around with the connections. Arya, lots of thanks for helping me out figuring Remnote for the first time. That was awesome. I'm definitely going to dive into it a bit more. I'm going to play around with the cards, because there's a few things that I want to memorize, and I might be able to use this to get somewhere. And I'm going to see like how my data links up, but I don't want to mess with that on stream, because it's a mixed stuff of things that I would be happy to share with everyone, and there's stuff in there that I don't want to share with everyone because it's company related and other people related, and that's their personal data. So that was it for today. Thanks for watching, and speak to you guys soon.